Hello there, everyone. Renee Funk here with eXp Realty, and I am over the moon excited. Mitch Riback, how are you?
Doing wicked awesome. How you doing, Renee?
Well, in the words of my favorite mentor, Mitch Riback, I am wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome. Yeah. It's the only way to be, right?
That is the only way to be. And so we get to come together today and share some pretty exciting news. Who's this amazing fellow we have with us today?
Hello. Scott Lissa is here with you today. I'm pretty excited to be here.
Oh,
hey, Scott.
Oh my goodness. So Scott Lissa, here's the news. We're linking arms. We are announcing today you are joining eXp Realty officially.
Officially, it is being done.
That's awesome.
Super excited.
All right.
We're so excited to have you aboard, Scott.
Yep, it's been quite a transition, and I can't believe how much has been accomplished in such a short period of time. Obviously, these changes, there's never a good time for them to take place. We're in an extremely busy market, and to be perfectly honest, most everything I had to do was right from here.
Yep.
My work was not interrupted. Clients were all thrilled. And to be perfectly honest, I couldn't have hoped for a better situation because, to be perfectly honest, I've only been with one brokerage previously. So my experience level, not that high when it comes to doing a transition like this, but any question I've had has been replied to me so quickly. It's just been phenomenal, and I can't tell you how excited I've been the entire time.
Well, we are thrilled. And so Mitch and I, the three of us, we have a bit of a history if we go back, right? Like we first met.
We do. We got a background.
We got a little background there.
Yeah. And I've seen these pictures of our background, which is really bad.
See, and you got to really think about this. I can still post things from years past, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. My wife tells me all the time, she's like, really be careful what you post because it never goes away.
No, it never does. No, it never does.
Well, the three of us first met way back, longer than I want to admit, because I feel like I'm getting older, through Real Estate Webmasters. And I just have to say, Scott, that I don't know if you know exactly how much you mean to Jeffrey and I in our own business development path, because when we first met, you are one of our business development managers. Mm-hmm. You, quite frankly, Scott, are one of the most tech-forward thinkers who have been a tremendous differentiator in our business. And with this opportunity, I am over the moon because the three of us linking arms, we're going to be focused on continued tech development and improving that customer experience. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you've already alluded to, we have a history, and it came down to technology. One of the most life-changing experience I ever had was working both between technology and real estate. And really what this came down to is just combining a large past of a marketing background, a large tech background, and then getting involved in real estate marketing. And then from that, it just flourished into an opportunity of truly understanding the business and just understanding how technology could literally better both clients' lives monumentally, especially if you're working in a relocation situation like I do. And then furthermore, just much better service between your administration. There's just so much information that is available out there that can be aggregated into one place to benefit both client and professional. And from the years, this is where I've started growing my business. Now, I transitioned away from Real Estate Webmasters. This would be 3 years ago. And with the blessing of the owner of the company, we still stay close. He's a phenomenal guy and he created an amazing product. I started utilizing the product that I sold myself. So luckily I get to say I truly get to practice what I preach. And I now get to say that those who teach don't do, I am now doing. So I got into real estate, looked for a brokerage that would fit my needs. And the fact of the matter is I didn't know exactly what I was looking for. I just knew that I needed a home to grow and just start to understand the business, because as much as you understand technology, there's a million things in this business you still need to continue to learn. And it became apparent, especially with COVID and everything transpiring in the years, that the technology model that I found is starting to transpire even further into real estate and really having access to people and things. No longer can I go out there to do it. I really need to be able to access things from all different points and understanding where I'm at and where my clients are at when I can't go visit a lawyer or the city or anything like that. Now I have the tools at my disposal to operate from anywhere. My assistant as well. It's absolutely phenomenal, just the foresight into what I can see and accomplish in my mornings when I get up early, just by utilizing the technology. So really, this is a continuing learning experience for my history and what I've came from. Is now I have the opportunity to drink from the fire hose, as we discussed before we got on this call, because there is so much. It's so intuitive, and I'm the perfect person to go ahead and adapt to it. But really, it adapts to everybody's business so well, and I just can't believe how much more I have to explore. I've barely scraped the surface, so it's been quite a transition, but very happy with it.
So Scott, you were we talked when you were trying to make this decision. We've been talking for several months now, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah. Well,
and the one thing that impressed me about you was how quickly you became successful in real estate.
mm-hmm.
And I really, I mean, you're a rock star. You probably don't even know that yet because you're still only a few years in. But Renee and I have both trained thousands of agents over the years, and it's so refreshing to meet someone like yourself. And not me, but see you go from where you were 3 years ago, a sales rep, to for REW, to a realtor. And it's funny, a lot of people don't make that transition really well.
Well,
and you did. So I that's just kudos to you, man. That's pretty awesome stuff.
Well, and I appreciate it, but that's the other thing. Only a certain amount of technology is going to help a person. I have to boost myself in saying it's about communication. Technology is not going to take away the most important aspect of all business transactions, which is relationships. Really, I just find if I can digitize aspects of my life where it comes to accessing information, the transition was quite easy for me in adapting to the business and serving people, because that's what it's all about. Truly, we're offering a service here, and there's no real question about it. I think some people confuse that they use the term lead generation and all these things that come down to not really interacting with people. Once again, we're here to serve people good information and advise them. And when it comes down to it, access to more information allows me to better advise people, but it's still that one-on-one. And this is what this represents. A transition is about people coming together and looking for opportunity. And that's why, of course, I agreed to this opportunity to sit here with you guys and talk about what's going to become of this. And it just is a nice bow on the entire package of what this has been. It's just great. And
like you said, you were just touching the surface. We've been in this company, it'll be 4 years this summer, right? Renee, yeah. Right? And we've seen a lot. It's so nice when people come in now, because it's a lot different than when they came in 4 years ago, and the challenges we had back then. And your crew up in Canada is amazing. They're just people, and we love working with them. They do have that A thing going on a little bit. We're still struggling with that, but it's great stuff.
We're raised with it. It's not going away anytime soon, but it also knows that you're talking to the right people when you're planning on relocating to Canada. You're talking to a local. You're talking to
we all have to remain authentic, right? That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
So Scott, with the conversations we've been having and you just officially launching with eXp, could you talk to us a little bit about what were some of your favorite resources or assets that were most appealing to you when you were considering making the move, and ultimately really pushed you over the edge to say, this is home?
Obviously I rely, as much as I do rely on technology, I rely on people giving me good information, and it all has to start somewhere. And to be perfectly honest, Dan Strickland was monumental in the simplest little piece. And really, it's a Canadian specific website for BC realtors and all the resources you could possibly need. And when I say all the resources you could possibly need, I couldn't explain to you, having access to this website for about a week, how prepared I was to do a transition. Now, there's so many more monumental things that I've had access to, but as that little piece where you're always coming back to a small question, I couldn't believe the amount of work. I guess there's 4 brokers that contribute to this, or 5. One in particular who I've spoken with, who's absolutely phenomenal. Heidi, I believe it is. I'm probably butchering your name and I'm messing up. But I've never seen a more complete web resource for me to access something and not hidden in any way. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that was one tool that was amazing. Amazing is the term I would use for eXp World as well. However, If somebody walks into your office and you're first using it and they're not really understanding technology, they are thinking you're paying The Sims possibly at the first moment they see it. And considering I have a young child, it is a little bit disconcerting when I'm working in my office and it looks like I'm playing a video game. But I've been doing orientation training through this, interacting with people on the stage, getting to see the people who are around me who are also onboarding at this time. That once again just goes ahead and gives you the feeling of being a part of something. People talk about feeling disconnected. The fact of the matter is, in the last 3 days, I felt more connected through my computer and my business than I have in probably 14 months, like easily with COVID happening. And I don't necessarily things going back to any sort of normal. I wish it would. But really at this point now, that would be the next most revolutionary thing that I've actually had access to. I try to avoid these terms, but I'm going to say it. I'm probably going to say it again. Game changer. Yeah. It just is. It really is.
Well, it gives you access, which I love that word, because you have access to, you have access to everything, between workplace and the world. You literally have access to every employee. There's 700-800 employees now. You have access to all of them right there. Yeah. It's amazing. A lot of people ask me about support all the time with eXp, and it's something that I know when I joined, I didn't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it blows me away every day that if I have a question I need answered, I can post it, and literally within 5 minutes, I get 5 answers from 5 different people.
Well, I made the mistake. I actually, that's a good point. This morning, I made a mistake of going into one of the lobbies and asking a question to the secretary, and they said, "We'll be right back with you." And being as an impatient person that needs answers immediately, I then decided to use one of the texting apps that are utilized. All of a sudden, I had 3 people getting back to me right away, and it all probably happened within 3 minutes. And all of a sudden, I realized immediacy does happen. However, you may have to wait 30 seconds. So I'm not a child. I can learn to actually let people respond to me now. And as much as the eXp world is absolutely phenomenal, I'm starting to understand the concepts of the internal messaging apps now and how handy that is for one-on-one. It's almost like eXp world seemed daunting in a sense that, well, who am I going to interact with? It's so open world and there's so much access, but it gets so personal when we get down to, and sorry, I'm still learning the words or the terms for this, but workplace, workplace chat.
You got it.
Phenomenal.
It's the best.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I'm already on the workplace app, which obviously is completely intuitive. It's exactly like Facebook. Yep. And I'm already learning about stock. Tons of stuff. I've joined different groups. People are chatting back and forth with me. And once again, put that away. I actually have to do real estate. But it in my mind, I was just like, 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm going to go and just engage, not only for educating, for bettering the profitability of my business, but educating me to be a better realtor. It was just, it had to be put away because there was just too much to go into. Yeah.
One of the things that I found, even after being with the company 3 years and now 4 months, I found it so incredibly awe-inspiring, I guess is probably how I'll word it is. So Scott, I'm proud to say, is in the world of Jeff and Renee Funk, you are our first business partner in Canada, which we are so incredibly over the moon excited about. Much more to come. Stay tuned. But through that process, I had the opportunity to experience yet again firsthand the lack of geographic boundaries. We would have a call, you and I would hop into eXp World, our cloud office, and I would say, a couple clicks, let me go into our Canadian brokerage operation team's office. Mm-hmm. And within seconds, I would have, here's everything Scott needs. Here's everything you need in transition. We have it all laid out for you. And here we go. And I think I've shared with you on a few of our calls is, wow, yet again, I'm reminded, even though I've been in this family of eXp Realty for years, we get answers across all global presence in seconds without waiting, which helps us work more efficiently.
Mm-hmm. Well, and from that, geographic borders are always going to exist, but when it comes down to collaborating with people, it shouldn't. There's no two ways about it. But even as it relates to my business, so if people aren't familiar where I am, I'm in Nanaimo on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada, roughly 20 miles off the mainland. Big island, don't get me wrong, but look into it yourself. And I do relocation. Most of my business comes from elsewhere, United States, the rest of Canada, which is obviously massive, from overseas. And even at this point, the opportunity that I saw I have a client right now that's coming from Virginia, looking to relocate and retire here on the island. Instantaneously, I was on eXp. I looked through a Virginia database so I could actually communicate with them. And I'm not looking to refer anybody or anything at this point, but I just needed to ask questions about how would you process a sale right now? There, I have some people asking questions. No time flat. Instantaneously, I had information handed to me. So collaboratively, I don't know where I would have started maybe before, maybe Facebook, maybe doing a Google search, land on somebody else's real estate website, hopefully talk to somebody, try and explain who I am. It wasn't anything like that. I looked up Virginia and it was done. So collaborating without geographic borders is amazing. And I have to admit, the brokerage that I was at previously was an amazing boutique brokerage that focuses on local resources, and they're phenomenal. But for what I do for relocation, it just makes so much sense. And there's so much opportunity to be had to both help my clients and myself just understand where they're coming from. And that's the first thing that I've seen just on day one here. So I know there's only more to find from it, but those geographic borders do not exist as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's the true idea of leveraging people, right? My buddy Pete, if I wanted to learn a little more about luxury, I can reach out to Pete. Anybody can reach out to Pete in San Diego. Hey, I want to learn luxury. We all share. People come to me about internet lead conversion all the time because I know a couple things about that. And and where I used to charge a good amount of money to do that now, which I still do to other people that are not part of eXp, but I share all the time with people who want to know about lead conversion because we're all, it's kind of an interesting facet when we all own the company. You treat the company differently. And that to me has been the talk about game changers. That's the game changer, is that I have a vested interest in not just people in my group and our group, but people in any group to help them become successful, because if we're all successful, our stock goes up and we all benefit. So you get, like, on most brokerages, there's very little collaboration. It's like, hey, I'm going to do this, but don't tell anybody because I don't want the competition. Now we have to do this, and once we do it, I'm going to share it.
I used to, as you guys say, going to my background, when I used to train brokers, their teams, we'd set them up with systems, help them understand what it meant to truly serve people online and create lasting relationships in person after the fact. Like, that was the whole process that we were there to train people to do, all the other tech stuff aside. But in that conversation, I always had to tell brokers one particular thing is, if you don't treat your people right effectively, you're going to show them all the secrets of your business, and you could be potentially training your next competitor. Right. And this created this world of secrecy and mistrust and misguided competition when people should have been coming together to truly benefit from one another. Like, the resources that I can provide to anybody that works around me, I'm happy. I'm an open book. Please ask me questions. However, in other brokerages, they don't even know if they're giving you the right answer. Most of the time, people will ask me a question. I will give them a dead answer within 30 seconds, little explanation, and no. Well, is he really here to help me? He is here working with me, but is he here to help me? That question's gone now. eXp actually completely dissolved that objection of collaboration because it helps everybody in the grand scheme of things. And really, for our clients' benefit, truly, you understand that everybody around us is here to support you as well. Not just, will they come work with me? No, it's a support mechanism that takes away that barrier. So collaboration is something I'm really looking forward to, especially when it helps other people and it doesn't hinder them from doing it in the future.
Yeah, you'll
100%.
Find we all work on contribution. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's something else I'm excited about. You guys bringing up the fact that I can contribute. I don't know how to do it. I'm usually more of a one-on-one person, sit there and talk, but I'm going to be more than happy to contribute to eXp as well. Share what I understand. Yeah. And there's a platform to do it. It's not difficult. I don't got to hand out flyers. I don't got to contact people. They're there.
They're there. Yep. And and everybody wants to learn. Everybody wants to be better.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious, Scott, obviously 2020 has been incredibly challenging for so many reasons. If we look at just business alone, I love asking this question of real estate leaders like yourself. What is one of the biggest lessons you learned in your real estate business in 2020?
Barriers are only in your mind. COVID hit. Nobody knew where things were going. In my mind, I had a client roster that needed to be tended to. They were going to be helped regardless of what the situation was, because people need to keep in mind that real estate is always looked in this big overreaching sense. But when it gets down to a local level, people need homes. They do. They're moving, and sometimes they don't have all the time to look. Sometimes they're not browsing. People need help. And that's where I was when all of a sudden I just had a child born, not a couple months prior to that, sorry, December 25th. And really, I walked into real estate just knowing that I had to help the people that were there. The next thing I realized was the barriers that I thought were going to be in place for me completely dissolved. And what I mean by this is there's many agents that looked at what happened as they needed to close up shop. Stop, I can't pay fees anymore. I'm not here to help my clients. And they shut down. And really, that was the barrier that most people saw. They just saw it as insurmountable. So the biggest lesson that I learned was, once again, connecting and helping people is always going to be a requirement. It always will be. And the amount of people that I know now that are, and we're in one of the busiest markets we've ever been, and all the way through COVID, but nobody expected that. But that wasn't the case in which we're benefiting from, or anybody is actually. What it actually came down to was people still need to connect with people and buy homes. So the lesson that I've learned from this, regardless of the situations that's thrown at us nationally, internationally, or even locally, people still need help. And we're here to do it for them.
Yep. Great.
Barriers are only in your mind.
They're up there. Let them go.
Love that.
Yeah, I might have to steal that from you, Scott.
Yeah.
We're going to quote you on that.
I'll take it for today. Hashtag me on Facebook.
Right.
Oh, we will. Oh, it's
go,
coming. Yeah. Barriers are only in your mind. I love that.
Actually, just posted it online.
Yeah, don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, trademark.
Scott's new hashtag.
Right.
Okay, so I have to know, what are you most excited about in your future business goals, Scott, Lissa?
Well, probably the thing, and here's the thing, this is a business decision. It's based off of opportunity. There's no question about that. Everything else aside, me knowing you guys as friends, this just made my transition easier, which is amazing, of course. But the biggest, how do I put this? It goes back to what I was saying about better being able to serve people with relocation. At this point, most of my business revolves around the concept of people coming and buying something in an area they have no understanding from. Yeah. And being able to connect with people above and beyond my small brokerage group that exists here on the island. And I'm going to use that in a different concept. We are on an island as well. You know, people have trouble being able to connect with us. So the biggest opportunity that comes for me from this is opening up those connections, working through referrals. As anybody, and I've said this to you both as well, as much as I may be what you would call an expert in doing online lead generation, working with clients online and creating a great online experience that contributes to my overall bottom line, really, I need to diversify my business. And eXp automatically has 4 or 5 options in which I can start doing. Now, anybody that does anything with their business, the smart thing to do is always focus on what your expertise is, which I'm never going to delineate from. But the fact of the matter is now I have opportunities to diversify and actually start working within referral networks. And these referral networks become strong, especially over time. And it's going to be making these connections. And that will be the new side of my business, where not only can I help you actually get here, I'll help you get away from where you're trying to leave as well, based off of the information that I was provided from my network now. Excuse me, sorry, 40,000? How many people?
43, 44, right around there.
The last official number is 43,000, but you know, who's counting?
1,050 last week, so.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Even if I was working within a separate brokerage structure, there's still geographical borders as people communicate between, even if we use RE/MAX for an example, between Canada and the United States. That does not exist here. We are literally eXp. Right. At this point, we're here to help you in North America and across the world here shortly.
Yep. I'm so incredibly excited. There is so much more to come. I think about the 3 of us and, you know, Mr. Funk. He's actually out working at the moment, but let's include him in this, is that the 2 of you have been so important to helping us elevate our business. And I love the synergy around the way that we understand what it means to work with relationships that are sourced from online,
Mhm.
building and earning a deeper relationship with those contacts, and then helping them on their journey of home ownership, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what each of us here have built our businesses on.
Absolutely.
So excited to continue to build together, and just really, really proud of you, Scott.
Well, I won't lie to you. I actually was kind of looking for the fringe benefits of coming and visiting you guys near Disneyland or Disney World as well. So the little piece of it, but beyond that, no. It's amazing working with people that I don't need to explain myself to as well.
Right.
There's very few people that actually understand this relationship building process. Like
Yeah.
the technology is a tool that allows us to do it. But I don't need to explain that to you guys. You understand, which makes my life so much easier to move forward when I don't have to explain what I'm already.
Yeah, we all come from the same cloth, right? As far as that goes, we all do the same processes. We all know it's all about relationship building. I hate calling leads too, because they're not. They're people,
They're
and people I want to connect with and help them sell, buy or sell a home, right?
Absolutely.
And when you get that mindset in the lead conversion process, you realize it's not about leads.
Yep.
It's about connection. It's about access. It's everything. And like Jeff just said in his text, when are you going to come to Orlando?
Yep, little one's coming. Yep. Sorry, I love the chat feature. That's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, share with everyone where they can find you, how they get in contact with you. You'll be tagged in all of these feeds, of course, that are going up. But how do we connect with Scott Lissa?
Sure. Best way, strangely enough, would be online. If you want to check me out online, definitely come take a look at my website. I focus on making one of the best online resources for my clientele. So take a look at nanaimore.com. Strange word, Nanaimo, NANAIMORE.com. And you're going to pretty much be able to find everything that you could possibly want online about me, about my business, and about the beautiful place that I get to live and help people actually live as well. So look into me, look me up on Facebook. Pretty easy to find. If I'm not doing my job right, you won't be able to find me online. So please feel free.
We're super excited, Scott.
Yes, well.
And really happy that Mitch, thanks for coming on and
of course,
joining us.
I wanted to be part of this. A big thing. Scott, there's very few people you meet in the world that you have instant connection with, and Scott, you were one of those people, right? We just instantly connect. When was the first time we met? It wasn't Chicago, was it?
No, I think we met in the boardroom downtown Nanaimo. You came in, but we were talking on the phone back and forth when you were setting up some things between you and your team for probably 3-4 months. And I was relying on you for information then. So I'm really happy I didn't know you at that point.
Because most people do know me. So
True. Very true.
Well, make it an awesome day. And thank you, Scott Lissa. Thank you, Mitch Riback. Stay in touch. And like I said, so much more to come.
all right, we'll talk to you soon, Scott.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.